stormed into the capital on Republic Day. But now what we are seeing is that a number of tractors are returning back at Ghazipur border. When more than 100 tractors have returned from the capital to Ghazipur border. So here the farmers under the banner of Bharatiya Kisan Union are registering their protest since November 26th. Well, this morning a number of tractors, trolleys and whatnot stormed into the capital. But now what we are seeing is that things are coming back to normalcy here at Ghazipur border. More than 100 tractors have returned to this particular border. And of course, they are currently camping at Vaishali Road. But this might lead to a number of problems for the commuters as they might face traffic congestions in the coming hours too.
A clear defiance of the terms and conditions on which the NOC was given to the farmers to carry out the tractor rally. This is the scene at Ghazipur roundabout where you can clearly see that the farmers who are part of the tractor rally are breaking the barricades. A predefined route was already given to these farmers, but they want to enter the central Delhi and therefore now they are breaking the barricades. Although there is just one group of the farmers who are trying to break the barricades, in fact they are trying to enter this side. Tickets group is intervening and they are asking the farmers to take the predefined route only, but these farmers are creating ruckus at Ghazipur roundabout.
We are reporting from ITO, one of the critical areas in central Delhi. This has really converted into fortress. Number of police officials are there already keeping a strict vigil. You can see tractors marching on the road. They have entered central Delhi. That's what we can confirm to you. On our left side is of course tractors marching here. You can see they have broken all the barricades and police have to resort to tear gas shells. Another tear gas shell has just erupted. You can see tear gas shells. Police has to resort to tear gas shells to control the crowd, to control these farmers, because they do not have the permission to move inside central Delhi. You can see Vajra Vahan, jammers have been placed, tear gas are on standby. You can see this tractor is moving towards the police official. They are trying to move towards a police official. The police is trying to control them. They are trying to actually restrict them to moving from to central Delhi. You can see these tractors making rounds and rounds and rounds.
सिंघू बॉर्डर से किसान ट्रैक्टर मार्च जो संजय गांधी ट्रांसपोर्ट नगर पर रुके थे अब दिल्ली की तरफ आगे बढ़ चुका है। जो रूट दिया गया था पुलिस की तरफ से उस पर ना जाकर अब दिल्ली की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं। किसान आउटर रिंग रोड के बिल्कुल पास में पहुंच गए हैं। देख सकते हैं आप ट्रैक्टर का जो काफिला है वो लगातार दिल्ली की तरफ आगे बढ़ रहा है। तस्वीरों में आप देखेंगे किस तरह से जो ट्रैक्टर पर झंडे लगाकर लगातार आगे की तरफ जो किसान हैं वो बढ़ रहे हैं। संजय गांधी ट्रांसपोर्ट नगर पर हल्की झड़प भी पुलिस और किसानों के बीच में हुई। आंसू गैस के गोले छोड़े गए और किसानों की तरफ से सुरक्षा बलों पर पथराव किया गया और उसके बाद आउटर रिंग रोड की परमिशन नहीं दी थी पुलिस ने, लेकिन अब किसान जो है वो लगातार आउटर रिंग रोड की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं और वहीं से रास्ता दिल्ली के अंदरूनी इलाकों में जाता था।
Clearly, anarchy unleashed in Delhi as the tractor rally of agitating farmers turned violent earlier today. The Ministry of Home Affairs is currently holding a high-level meeting where Home Minister Amit Shah is being apprised of the violence that took place due to the Kisan tractor rally. 15 additional paramilitary forces comprising have been deployed in the national capital. Earlier today, farmers breached the podium of Delhi and laid siege at the Red Fort. The tricolour was insulted as Kesari flags were hoisted across poles at the Red Fort. Agitating farmers at Nangloi were also lathi-charged in an attempt to disperse them. Meanwhile, tractors driven by farmers deliberately tried to run over police personnel at ITO earlier today. Remember, clashes were reported at several areas including Ghazipur, Singhu border, Tikri border and Mukarba Chowk as farmers violated the prescribed route or the route that they had agreed upon when there were meetings with the police. Police barricades were broken by the farmers, buses vandalized, stones pelted, tear gas shells fired by the cops and provocative posters were also raised. Runjhun Sharma is now joining me live from ITO. Runjhun, give me a sense of what really is happening there, and have the farmers started going back to the border where they were not supposed to be? You know, they were not expected to march till the Red Fort and indulge in this kind of vandalism that has played out in the national capital today.
Yes, Maria, all cleared out here at the ITO red light. But in fact, the last of the tractors that were here, they've also just left. Only a handful of people now. And by what we're told is that they will also be leaving this particular area soon. This place didn't look like this, Maria, a few moments ago when the agitating farmers in fact had clashed with the police here. A number of buses here vandalized completely. When you talk of the barricades on my right, on my left, front, all of them broken down. Stones were pelted. In fact, Maria, if you can see the road, it's all filled with glass. There's glass. Why? Because a lot of these buses were stone pelted at the windows. The glass is all completely broken down. Now, what had happened was in the morning from the Ghazipur border, from that side, the farmers had marched. From the Singhu, from this side they'd marched. They'd merged on this particular spot. This is the ITO red light, and there was a huge ruckus. Also important to underline here, Maria, is that there was not even one farmer leader present on the spot, and which is why it became difficult for the police to control them. There was no one to tell them to go back. Till a few moments ago, they said that they'll stay put, in fact, perhaps spend the night here. The police really had to plead them to vacate this particular location. Why, Maria? Also because on my right, when you see this particular road leads to the railway station. So if you see a lot of autos, a lot of vehicles, they want to make their way to the railway station. I'm sure a lot of people must have missed their train today if they were taking this
Runjhun,
route,
just hold on to your thoughts. There is a piece of breaking news that is coming in now. In fact, the Delhi Commissioner of Police, S.N. Srivastav, has now spoken out. And he has said that there were certain terms that were agreed upon by the farmers, and that is the reason why this permission for a tractor rally was given. And those guidelines or the route were not followed by the farmers. Then he goes on to say they chose violence and vandalism. There has been a huge loss of property. We request protesters to not use violence and return back. Nitisha Kashyap is now joining me live from Akshardham. Nitisha, this of course is a clear violation of what was agreed upon. There was a distance that was told to them that from all the three borders that they will be entering from, it would be a distance of 30 to 40 kilometers. But they marched and they marched ahead to central Delhi, went to Red Fort, indulged in vandalism. There can be no justification of what really happened today.
Well, Maria, actually the farmers were given 60 to 65 kilometers of the route, but none of the route was towards central Delhi. In fact, from Singhu, Tikri, or for that matter Ghazipur, they were diverted to the outer area of the national capital so that they could not enter Delhi. And there were some 37 terms and conditions that were put before giving NOC. And the farmer leaders who were constantly attending the meetings with the police officials, they agreed to all those 37 terms and conditions. And the main terms and condition of that NOC was that they are not going to start the farmer tractor rally before noon. They will start the farmer tractor rally only after the Republic Day parade is over. But today we saw that at Singhu and Tikri particularly, the farmer tractor rally started at around 9 o'clock. At Ghazipur border, the tractor rally started at around 11 o'clock. At Ghazipur border, where I was in the morning, I saw that the farmers, they were supposed to move towards Anand Vihar, from there to Hapur and then IMS College, and then enter Ghaziabad. But instead of turning towards Anand Vihar, they chose National Highway 9. They ran through on National Highway 9. From there, they moved towards
is there some estimate of the loss of property?
We did see a clash of...
because of the vandalism today. Nitish, if you can hear me.
Yes.
Is there some estimate that has been done by the cops in Delhi of the loss of property because of the vandalism today?
Well, according to the Commissioner of Police, there is a huge loss of property, but the assessment will be done because in certain areas, especially the western part of the Delhi, the situation is still not absolutely normal. The cops are still on the road and they are trying to man the tractors. In fact, the tractors who were trying to go on the outer ring road or who were trying to enter the central Delhi, they are still there, and the police officials are asking them to return. That is the message from the Commissioner of the Police as well, that although the terms and conditions have been violated and the farmers resorted to violence, they chose violence and vandalism. Now the commissioner is requesting them to return peacefully without creating any nuisance or violence.
Arunima, I can see Arunima and Sagar as well joining us. Arunima, coming to you now, since you are near New Delhi railway station, give me a sense of what has made the Ministry of Home Affairs go in for additional deployment.
So I actually moved from the New Delhi railway station route to the India Gate Circle just to get a hang of whether the routes have opened or not. And I'll tell you about the Home Ministry has decided. But before that, the Minto Road as well as the Paharganj entrances to the New Delhi railway station continue to be shut. There are a lot of railway staffers who live on the Minto Road. I actually spotted some of them on their vehicles pleading with the police to let them go home. And the policemen saying that, ma'am, our hands are tied. We have been deployed since 1 a.m. last night. We haven't had a chance to have a single bite. We have been asked to be on full alert, and we cannot, allow anybody to cross these barricades. So that's the situation around the New Delhi railway station. Here at the India Gate Circle, the road behind me actually takes you to ITO. This is the Copernicus Marg, which will take you to the Mandi House roundabout and then onwards towards the ITO. You can see that there is hardly any traffic movement towards ITO. There are some vehicles which are moving towards India Gate, but nothing on the other side. The policemen deployed here also. Once again, the same story. They haven't had a break since last night, deployed for 26 January duty. They're finally taking a break and relaxing here. Now, to come back to the question of why the Home Ministry has decided to deploy additional troops for precisely this reason, the Delhi police personnel have been stretched beyond, beyond limit. They have been deployed since late last night for 26 January duty. Then this morning they had to take on the protesting farmers. If the farmers refuse to vacate the central Delhi area, refuse to go back to Tikri, Singhu and Ghazipur, you will need fresh fresh people in uniform who can then have the stamina to continue this game of one-upmanship with these farmers. And that's why I think a decision has been taken to send in more troops. 15 companies have already been deployed, 10 from CRPF, 5 from others. There could be more boots on the ground by the time the tomorrow morning happens. And what the Home Minister has said after his review meeting is that don't use excessive force, but at the same time do ensure that people who are responsible for violence are held accountable.
I don't know, what the Kisan Union may be saying is not becoming convincing now, and that's really a matter of concern. They had agreed with the cops that they will be following rules, that they would be going only on the route that was decided and agreed upon by both the sides. And now this is a violation of that, plus vandalism that has happened on the streets and on that entire route. And now the farmers may have gone back, but certainly now questions are raised of whether these protests have been hijacked. And now Samyukt Kisan Morcha in its own statement is saying that they realize that the violation of this hurt their movement, and they are trying to dissociate themselves from indulging, from those who have indulged in violence. Sagar, come in on this. The question is, can they really dissociate themselves after the incident of violence that has happened? And now what are they planning to do? If it was about show of strength, trying to showcase that they matter, they have done so. It was now about violence. It was not really about protests anymore, or peaceful democratic protest. Now what are the farmers planning to do next?
Absolutely, two very valid points raised by you, Maria. First is, of course, can they really dissociate themselves by issuing this statement? Absolutely not, because such a statement does not even name the perpetrators, name the culprits who are behind it. They are just, it's kind of a very vague statement coming out from them. Like some anti-social elements were actually got connected with this movement and tried to disassociate themselves. So this is clearly not enough. There has to be an authority to take the responsibility. That's what the people are saying in the national capital region, of course. And to answer the second part of your question about what they plan to do next, the Sanyukt Morcha Kisan, the statement says that they request all the Kisan leaders and all the farmers who are right now at different points in the central Delhi to come back. On that front, there is a sense of positivity and a ray of hope. Why? Because, Maria, we were just doing a drive-through kind of thing from ITO, where I was earlier reporting from where the violence erupted, to actually coming to towards
Just hold on to your
Anand
thoughts,
Vihar,
Sagar, and
Akshardham,
all the
then
reporters. We have to toss across to Mission Pani. There is a special guest addressing it.